Good evening, short story writers. The microphone's down here. Okay, again, tonight's fiction writing prompt. It's the last one in the series of things that probably have been happening during lockdown. So, we've gone over silly conspiracy theories and ghosts, all kinds of things. The last one is what tends to happen when people who are attracted to each other and maybe have not declared so through the act of marriage are in close proximity. History has shown that during certain crises, 9 months later, the birth rate tends to go up. And so there may be a little mini population explosion next year. So that is the short story idea today. So what can we do with this idea? Well, we can either kind of backdate and find other occasions when this has happened, maybe during power cuts, maybe during times of national disaster. And literary fiction would just explore maybe an uneasy truth becoming something a little more amorous, and maybe not. They could turn it around and it could be one person deciding to be amorous and the other person deciding, no, actually, this is time for divorce. So we won't go there. Or maybe we will go there, but afterwards we'll talk about divorce when the oxytocin, etc., is in the bloodstream. And that in itself would be the sci-fi and maybe the horror and fantasy. You take that and you perform an Edward de Bono exercise on it and just think about what are the after effects of an amorous encounter. Or I can say sexual intercourse if you wish. And, what maybe some hormone or other which is released and then is affected by, I don't know, cosmic rays in the old Marvel universe. It really doesn't matter. It's just, it could also be a dystopian sort of thing, perhaps, for science fiction and fantasy and horror. Maybe the projected rising population at some point in the far future has bad effects, or it could be you take that and you turn it on its head and look at the idea of population implosions and what would happen perhaps if artificial intelligence becomes there's a parallel development where you can download your consciousness into machines or into computers, and that will become your legacy or be the way of you can develop all these things. You start off with a little building block like that, and then you think, okay, what can we do with this? How can we turn it around? How can we turn it upside down? How can we use that and think of the opposite? This is where you begin with these things. And for actions and thrillers, well, there is a bit in the original Terminator film, isn't there, where Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor have a quiet moment, and that is when the whole reason for the Terminator's existence begins. This kind of a little moment of irony. So you could think about that kind of thing. Two people together, the calm in the storm. What would be the consequences? What would happen as a result? Who would be the child? Because, okay, major plot point or plot flaw in The Terminator. Don't go back in time and try to kill Sarah Connor. Just prevent her from meeting Kyle Reese. You don't have to kill her. Or you could prevent her parents from meeting. Or you could keep them apart on the night that she was conceived. that way, nobody would ever know about Skynet. It'd probably continue to be in existence, and the whole Terminator franchise admittedly would not have existed, and we would have missed at least two very, very good movies. I quite like the final one as well, the Dark Fate or whatever it was called. I don't know why people railed against it. I know that it's meant to be. They're saying it's all feminist. Well, I didn't think so. I mean, you know. A lot of people have been saying, oh, is it a topic for something else, isn't it? But a lot of people have been complaining, rightly so, that it's been a trend to take certain heroes and turn them, they flip their sex, so that if they were male, they become female, and kind of vice versa. And I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are, but I mean, there are plenty of good, very, very good kick-ass females, and Sarah Connor being one. There's never any doubt about the fact that she was, you know, and Trinity, she's pretty kick-ass, and Wonder Woman, and so I honestly think a lot of it is not about furthering the kind of feminist agenda so much as they've run out of ideas. Any good, imaginative, creative person would have thought, okay, let's take someone, Sherlock Holmes, okay? Or was there somebody before? Robinson Crusoe. Everybody knows who Robinson Crusoe is. Now, let's imagine some sort of alternate reality where it's thought that we need to make Robinson Crusoe female. By all means, take the story, develop it, but make the character sufficiently different and better. Okay? Don't just steal one and shoehorn a female in there and say, job done. Little girls will now grow up to have a lot more self-respect. Is that the case? I mean, they may actually grow up thinking, this used to be a male. And that might, for them, 15, 20 years down the road when all kinds of things may have happened, it may have a load of baggage attached with it. Create new heroes. The world needs more heroes, more characters, more villains. Okay. Nearly time to go. Thumbs up, thumbs down, your choice. Let's get in there before 8 minutes. Bye-bye. Happy writing.